Honestly, how did we get here? I mean, I can't wrap my head around what is really happening. So, sometimes ago, just recently actually, I saw a clip. A guy was in a conversation with some ladies and they were casually throwing sexual talk. And rather than engage, this guy respectfully disengaged. He didn't mock them, he didn't make a scene, he just did not join them. And the response actually threw me off. There was this awkward silence, followed by judgment, followed by laughter, and then mockery. And it was labeled weird, repressed, unmanly, uncivilized, uncooked. And in my head, I was like, God, please help me. What is really happening? All because it set a boundary. When did we turn to this? When did it become an issue to, stand up for your values? When did you have to be shameful for choosing strong values? Why do people feel ashamed of having values? It made me to ask that question. Honestly, I felt for the guy, and in my head, I was just like, God, please help this guy. Because that scenario alone is enough for somebody that probably is not very rooted in those values. It's enough to shake them. I was just like, God, please help this guy. Because it wasn't making any sense to me. So, this episode is for you, is for me, is for everyone who has ever felt alone. And before we go deeper into this episode, please permit me to honorably, majestically welcome you to today's episode. So hello, dear listener. You're welcome or you're welcome back to A Walk with A.F.I. I am so glad, excited, happy that you are here today. If you are joining for the first time, hi, come give me a hug. I missed you. I'm happy to have you here, and you are my constant K. Thank you again for joining. I hope the month of May has been treating you well, and you have also been treating the month of May well. And you know what? Just keep going. Please don't be ashamed for having strong values. And I hope that you have something great and interesting to say about the month of May. And I want to say this, that for the person who has been laughed at or isolated, for choosing to walk a different path, like the guy that I just mentioned, for that one person who has always second-guessed their convictions just because to other people it doesn't feel normal, this is for you. And here is what I want to say, that there is no shame in having standards. Honestly, there is no shame in choosing what is healthy for your soul. I know a lot of people might call you names. It might sound like maybe you don't even know what you are doing. To them, they are the ones experiencing growth. But I want to mention this, when it comes to growth can be negative too. If a lump is growing in a woman's breast, that is also growth, but it's not a positive one. It's not what we want. It's a problem to that person. So I feel like when people are talking about growth, we should actually be careful. Is it a positive one we are talking about or a negative one? Because at some point I was like, okay, being civilized, you understand, the fact that we are evolving as a society, as a community, does not mean that we should not make it a thing of negativity. We should not make things that used to be sacred and turn those stuffs to mockery. If that's the path that you have chosen, it's fine. Allow other people to have their own mind. Allow them to choose their path. So why would somebody that is choosing sacredness over trend, why should they be ashamed? The truth is, shame has gotten loud, honestly, and it often hides behind words like growth, liberation, openness, trend, yes, but Growth is beautiful. I'm not disputing the fact that growth is beautiful. But real growth doesn't ask you to kill your convictions. It does not ask you to kill your beliefs, your values, things that you stand for. That is not growth. You being open does not mean that you should throw your strong values that are rooted in wisdom, not in trends, away. Trend will come and go. Okay, just think about it. Earlier this year, a lot of songs have been released, right? And let's not even use songs. Let's not use music. Let's use slangs. In this country, Nigeria, a lot of slangs almost every month. Before it used to be words. I probably can't remember most of them. But then I know before it used to be we have a lot of slangs that we say in this country. And with time it keeps changing. Maybe the perfect example for me is actually music. Yeah, let me just stick to that. So earlier this year, and I'll go with gospel songs because I'm more familiar with that. So earlier this year we had favor surrounds me like a shield. It's still very much relevant every now and then. But now the most trending song right now is what? No, I can never turn back. Do you understand? So it changes. Do you get? Even though they still hold relevance and all of that, but then that is even music. But when it comes to slangs, like I cannot even remember most of those slangs because they are not what I'm used to, and also something that was popularly said last year is not the same thing that people are saying right now. So you can't base your values, your beliefs, your convictions on trends. Do you understand? And if you now decide to do that, it's all well and good. But then don't make other people who have chosen to build their values, their convictions and wisdom, to be ashamed or mocked or feel somehow. Some of us are walking through life with quiet shame. And it's not because we've done anything wrong. Honestly, it's just because the world has made us to feel too much for having strong boundaries. They tell you you're too modest. Hey God, they tell you you're too quiet. I'm like, why would you have a problem with me being quiet? Like, I don't understand. I can't be quiet in peace. Do you understand? They tell you you're too self-aware because there are setting boundaries. They tell you you are too deep. This is not too deep. Oh wow, it's not too deep. They tell you you are too spiritual. Or they tell you you are too selective. Why would you say you cannot do this? Why would you say you cannot date this kind of a person? Why would you say you cannot go out with this kind of a person? Why would you say you cannot make this person your best friend? You are too selective. And then you are thinking, wait, I was thinking in my head I was doing the right thing. So does that mean I'm doing the wrong thing? But what if the shame you feel isn't yours to carry? Because here is what I've learned. Shame loves to attach itself to anything that is sacred. Your values, your convictions, as long as they are sacred, you see shame, it's not to gun body. That's why, even as believers, when you used to do some certain things and stop doing them, I know those old friends, those old habits are trying to come back into your life, and you're saying, no, I can never turn back. And they make you feel like, oh, you're doing too much, what's your problem? And, deep down inside of you, little by little, you start to feel like maybe I can, maybe I can manage it too. Maybe I can, still work with them. Maybe I can still go out with them. Maybe I can still do this. Maybe I can still do that. It tries to make holiness feel like heaviness. Shame tries to make wisdom look like weakness. Shame, it turns clarity into confusion. And then it tells you, see, you are the problem. But no, that is not true. You are not the problem. Your values are not the issue. Your desire for something deeper is not outdated. We live in a culture that glorifies overexposure, instant gratification, constant performance. So when you choose stillness, when you choose silence, or abstinence or gentleness, or meekness or quietness. It causes confusion to people that are so rooted in trends, to people that are so rooted in overexposure, to people that are so rooted in what seems to be growth, but in the real sense of it, is not a positive one. And it threatens systems built on applause, system built on validation, system built on trends. And because people don't understand it, they label it, they shame it, they mock it, and then they make you begin to question yourself. But then let me remind you today, it takes more strength to stand in your values than to follow the noise. It takes more strength to swim opposite direction of the wave. It takes courage to say no when everyone else is saying yes. And it takes maturity to walk away. You're supposed to say no. But then you feel like if I stay, they will accept me. If I stay, I'll feel among. So it takes a lot of courage. It takes maturity for you to walk away, for you to say, you know what? No, I'm not turning back. Yeah. Do you understand? So if you have been feeling the weight of shame for being different, if you have been tempted to water yourself down, to water your values down, to water your convictions down, if you have been feeling tired of standing alone in a world that does not understand you, I want you to know today that you are not alone. You are not strange. And you are not behind. It might look like that. You might feel that way. But no, you are not. You are building something that is real. And yes, it might be slow. It might be quiet. It might be misunderstood. People might not, understand where you are coming from. They might not understand your convictions, your values. And it's fine because it is sacred. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to conform. You don't need to change your standards that are rooted in wisdom. I keep saying that word because, people have standards. But when you check what is the root of this, your standard, it's not strong. It's not in wisdom. In fact, the foundation is very shaky. Do you understand? And you don't need to carry that shame that belongs to a confused world, because you are not confused. You know what you are doing. You know that my value is rooted in this, is rooted in that. Let's take modesty for example. Honestly, modesty is rooted in the scripture, right? And we are in a world where modesty is now, it has been thrown out of the window or the door. But then, people that are modest, you choose to be modest because when you check the foundation, when you check where it is rooted in deep wisdom, and you're not ready to trade that for anything. Do you understand? So check, the foundation of your standards. Is it really rooted in wisdom or not? Because if it is, just stay grounded. If it is, just stay faithful, just stay whole. And the next time that shame whispers, why are you like this? My dear, confidently just tell shame, because I know who I am, because I know what I value, and I am not ashamed of my values. Because the truth of the matter is, even when people come today and tell you are too uncooked, you are too uncivilized, you are not in the streets, you don't know what is happening, please, I hope you remember that your values, as long as they are rooted in wisdom, you don't need to change them. You don't need to bring down your standards just to feel among, just to be accepted, just to feel like, okay, you have joined the trend. Shame will always want to come around you, especially when you are just so rooted in what to do. People will always want to say things that will make you feel like maybe you are an outcast, maybe you are outdated, maybe you are still maybe in the 19th century. But I want you to know that is not the thing, that is not the truth. Just check it. In the next 2, 3, 4 years, things won't be this. Do you understand? This would have, hey, my God, it would have gotten more deeper. But then, will your standards still be standing? Check your standards as long as they are rooted in wisdom. Please don't trade that for anything. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this episode. If this episode, resonated with you, if it spoke to you, I hope you will share it with somebody who needs this. Somebody that has been quietly carrying the shame for being different. And let them know that they are not alone. Let them know that they are not weird. Let them know that they are not outdated. Let them know that they are not uncivilized. And until I see you again, please keep rising, keep growing, and keep standing in your truths without shame. I love you. And bye.